Makers, knowing I can take her to another age.
Microphone check 1 2 1 2. Microphone check 1 2. What it do? What the business is? Welcome to another edition of the MDX Radio Show. I am Maurice,
and I'm Danny.
Kind of delay with the Danny, bro. You usually be on the heels of when I say my piece.
Whatever.
And you are tuning in live for another edition of the MDX Radio Show, everyone. Yo, we had such a great time the other week when we were here 2 weeks ago. We said we're gonna come back again and we're gonna give it to y'all once again, but much more better. All right. We're here live in beautiful Broadview, Illinois, at intellectualradio.com at the headquarters of the studios here. And if for everyone who knows that this was this is our radio version, who probably tried to tune in last week for our podcast version, probably saw that there wasn't really much of a podcast to show. What happened was when we were firing things up last week to the podcast, Danny was having I guess there was some problems going on in Seattle with the electricity, with the power and everything. It's all kind of stuff that's happening in the West Coast that's just bad, man. I mean, you got the fires that's happening on Northern California. Not making light of it. Hope everyone's okay. But you had that, and you would tell me about that now because y'all had like no power in half the town. How things turn up right now?
Everything's fine. We had some crazy windstorm that came through like we always have out here. Mm-hmm. But the power came back. We were all good. So hopefully next week we can have a nice little podcast episode for everyone.
Okay, cool. So by the looks of things right now, it looks like we can record next week then, right?
Yeah, we should be good.
But dope. Cool. I like that. So how was your weekend, brother?
Week's good. Week's been really good. Just kind of hanging out, working, doing the thing.
Yeah.
To Canada tomorrow.
I'm about to say, man, I saw that you head up to the Great White North. What's popping?
Yeah, I'm going to Canada. The Washington Capitals are in town to play the Vancouver Canucks. Little NHL action.
Right. This is like your yearly thing. You do this every year, right? You would go up there to see them play.
I do. Yeah, the Caps come up once a year, so I head up there. Just go to Canada. Canada's only about 2.5, 3 hour drive north from where I am in Seattle. So it's not too bad. It's nice. It's fun. Fun little trip. Just going for the night in Seattle on Friday. So nothing too crazy.
Oh, damn. You going? Oh, wait. So it's gonna be like a legit turnaround.
Pretty much gonna drive up for the game. The game is tomorrow night, and then driving back on Friday. So.
Dang, okay. All right. How the Caps looking this year?
Hey, we're looking okay. We always look okay, and then playoffs come around, and we all know how that
goes. It's kind of like how the Blackhawks been looking for the past couple of years over here. We haven't seen. We haven't had a taste of championship since what was that? 2015, I think it was. Last time we were in the championship, or 2016, I think it was. But yeah, same with how it is up here. I've been so disconnected with sports overall. Like I've only been focusing like with the NBA and see what the Bulls talking about, and that really ain't about too much, because they're going into the season. They're going into the season at last place, and my thing is kind of like I'm not really expecting a whole lot out of them. I'm so much to the point where I'm like I kind of don't want them to win too many games, because they look they look a lot better than what's being perceived, from the analysts. Because last night when they played Cleveland, the first half of the game they were hooping, like they were going off, and I noticed that now they've changed their game where they're not so much inside the paint players, where they really do shoot from the perimeter a whole lot. And that one dude, that tall European looking cat, he was thinking in threes like nothing. So like the first half of the game, they actually were kind of dominating Cleveland, and then Cleveland ended up winning. I think they won by 7 points or so. But still, like they look good, but it's kind of like I like to see them get a high lottery pick. So right. I don't want them to do as good as they they had the potential to do it. Not yet. You know, as a fan, I'm like, all right, use this year as a transition year. Use this year as a year since we can get yourself a good draft pick. And then we start building up next year. And then hopefully, maybe by the time they ready, y'all will have another NBA team, because I know Seattle was looking at bringing another team there kind of soon. So that'd be kind of nice, you know?
Yeah, they've been talking about that for years, but we'll see what happens.
the way the league is going, though, I wouldn't be surprised if they exercise expansion. Since Adam Silver has taken over, it really has kind of like, he has really made it more like a business friendly environment in terms of, like, you know, what are smart moves to make more money, to make more revenue. I wouldn't be surprised. You know, I think the decision of changing up the jerseys, not being with Champion anymore and now being Nike jerseys is a financial move. And I can also see them eventually going the route of having ads on the jerseys. And I know people are saying, why would you want to have like I don't know, like a Tootsie, like a logo of Tootsie Roll or something like that on the back of the jersey. But that Tootsie Roll mean that the players get an extra, 10 stacks on their check. I'm sure they ain't going to be mad. And that means that, like, you know, that'll also give us more in terms of maybe like lower ticket prices, more games to see and everything like that, and more incentives as fans. Then, I mean, that's a win-win right there. So Adam Silver, he's been making some smart moves. So I like to see what he's going to do with that. And possibly we might see an expansion team. So you never know.
I feel like Las Vegas will get the team before us. They get everything before us right now.
Yeah, because they're moving the Raiders there, right?
There, they got the Golden Knights NHL team. I'm sure they'll get a basketball team before us.
Yeah, dog. I didn't even know what that was until like yesterday. I was like, "What is the Golden Knight?" And I guess they were playing the Blackhawks, and I guess they beat the Blackhawks and I asked them, like, what is the Golden Knights? And then they're like, oh, that's a Vegas team. I'm like, when did that happen?
This year, they're good too.
Their first year?
Yeah.
That's weird, man. That's wild. I'm not, like I said, I've been off the scene for a minute with sports, but yeah, man. So I mean, yeah. So things are happening. Things are looking good. How your Redskins looking? I'm sorry, your Washington DC football team looking.
They're
gotta be PC.
They're about as mediocre as they usually are. I think what are they? I think they're 4-4 right now.
Yeah.
I want to say. I think that's what it is. We lost on Monday, so
they lost to Philadelphia yesterday, right?
Yep.
Oh man. That's wild, man. But so you wait, what were y'all ranking? You said 4-4?
3.
Oh, okay. So y'all 500. So y'all 500. You know, but yeah. So over the weekend, like, you know, there were a lot of things that were happening, and I think one of the things that really did stand out to me over the weekend. So Friday, I was driving, and I wasn't on social media all day because I had to go to Indiana for some stuff. I was on the road like literally all day, and I did not jump back on social media until probably about like 5 o'clock or so. And I jump on and I see someone mention that Roman Reigns was not going to be in the match on Sunday, and I'm like, huh? And then right after that, I see that Kurt Angle was taking his place. And that was even a big like, wait, what plan am I on right now? So I was trying to, like, you know, make sense of it. I was asking questions like, hey, what's going on? Bring it with the speed and everything. So apparently what happened, there is this, for anybody who doesn't know right now, there's like this virus, this what is it, meningitis?
Yeah, viral meningitis.
Yeah, viral meningitis going around the WWE locker room. And it's shelved. Who's it shelved? Like, because a bunch of people got sick from it.
Bray Wyatt, JoJo, Bo Dallas, Roman Reigns. That's all that I know of.
Yeah, as far as we know, it's probably some unknowns as well too. Probably got affected as well. But key people have been affected, and Roman Reigns was the latest to endure this sickness, and because of that, they had to replace him I'm just laughing because of like what we're gonna get to in a second. They replaced him with Kurt Angle. Now, bro, I was hot. I was tight about this. I was not feeling this at all. I don't know how you were feeling, but I did not agree with this at all because I'm like, if we're gonna get a Kurt Angle in ring return, we need to get a dignified Kurt Angle in ring return, not some throwaway random TLC pay-per-view. I want like an actual real Kurt Angle pomp and circumstance, all the adulation, all the fanfare, all the celebration. Kurt Angle return. That was what I was waiting for, not some throwaway pay-per-view. But that's what we got eventually, though, man. So, what was your reaction when you heard about the news at first?
So at first, I thought it was fake.
Mm-hmm.
I honestly thought it was fake, and I was like, I saw it, and like somebody had posted it on Facebook or something, and I was like, there's no way that this is real. So I went to the actual WWE.com website, and I was like, no, this is actually a real thing right now.
Right.
So I was like, all right, cool. So Kurt Angle, he's gonna do his thing, and then I was more excited to find out that Bray Wyatt wasn't gonna fight Finn Balor, and we were gonna get AJ Styles, Finn Balor. Like that was the exciting part for me.
Yeah, yeah.
Again, like you said, I was hoping for a triumphant, Kurt Angle return. But we ended up getting him dressed up as the Shield.
Oh, bro, man, we're gonna talk about that.
It was so bad. And I was like, all right, cool, I get it. Like they're trying to keep the Shield thing.
Right.
Cool, no worries, right? And then like the match just went on, and it was just like a cluster, and like there was just it was all over the place, and there was just too much going on.
Right.
Couldn't figure it out. I didn't like it. And then Kurt Angle gets quote unquote hurt, so he goes away. And then I'm like, the only way that this is gonna get better is Kurt Angle's music hits. He comes out wearing the onesie, and like he becomes like the Kurt Angle. But then he comes out and like dressed up as a Shield again. I'm like, I'm done. Dude, I can't do it.
Yeah, and we're gonna touch on that in a few minutes, man, because yeah, I have quite a bit to say about that. That really was like kissing your sister. You know what I'm saying? Like that really was like, yeah, I'm good.
Right.
So we go into Sunday, the TLC pay-per-view. It's pay-per-view Sunday. So you approach it with, hey, as long it's a pay-per-view, so we're gonna check it out. We have a good time with it and everything, whatever it is. So right. the kickoff match was Sasha Banks taking on Alicia Fox. This was like kind of like a there was like some build up with this on Raw for the past few weeks and everything. It looks like they're bringing Alicia Fox back into the swing of things more in depth. Because it seemed like for a while she was kind of like she wasn't really like a part of anything major. She was more of an intricate part of the Total Divas reality show. But now, as of late, the past few months though, she's been more of a play on Raw. So she's been having like this little program with Sasha Banks, and Sasha Banks got the pinfall on her with I'm sorry, not pinfall. I'm sorry, she made her submit with the bank statement and made her tap out. It was, this wasn't no clinic or anything like that. This was very standard, this is a very TV match. And so, I probably gave it like a C or so. So, it was pretty standard.
Yep, agreed. Kind of boring. I was over it pretty quick.
Yeah. It was kind of like one of those matches where you just like having the background while you're like, you're getting your drink ready. And then like the pre-show ends, we go into the actual pay-per-view itself. We start the pay-per-view off with the curtain jerker, which was Emma taking on the debut of Asuka. And at first I was like, oh, they do this match already? Okay. But, it was a good way to get the crowd warmed up. So it made total sense. Now, going into the match, like when Emma was coming out, I really thought it was going to be a squash match. Like I thought that they were going to, what I thought they were going to do? I thought they were going to book the match the way how that one match Asuka had in NXT where old girl threw that punch, but Asuka grabbed her arm, wrapped her legs around her arm, flipped her over, and made her submit.
Yeah.
I really thought that was going to be like just a replay of that, and that's what I was expecting. But we actually got a match from them, though.
Yeah. It was a decent match, too.
Yeah. Yeah, it wasn't bad. Like, I think what was good was that, like, I felt that Emma kind of stepped her game up for that match because A, it was a pay-per-view match. B, it was against Asuka. C, she knew this is the opener, and a lot of people were going to be watching this match intently. So this wasn't going to be like this wasn't no middle of the pay-per-view throwaway Divas match where I can go in the bathroom and I'll come back in 7 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Like, this actually was like a pretty important match. So we actually saw some really good spots from Emma in this. And I think in a way also it was like kind of like letting them know that I need to be in the main mix. Maybe not necessarily the champion, obviously, but I need to be considered in the main mix of like those of those women wrestlers who get the real consistent TV time. You see what I'm saying?
Right. And she's been grinding. She's been trying to get out there and do her thing.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's hard because she's just being overshadowed by like Sasha Banks, Mickie James, Alexa Bliss,
mm-hmm.
Bayley. I think it's just hard. If any of those rumors are true that Nia Jax is going or trying to leave or whatever,
yeah.
I think that Emma should definitely capitalize on that and be like, hey, I could be a top heel for you.
Right. It's, speaking of top heel, what did you feel about Asuka being presented as a face? Because that was kind of different.
Because she was never really like a face or a heel, right? She kind of was there. She runs one of those like Stone Cold Steve Austin's, like could be a heel, could be a face, but you love them regardless, right?
Right.
So I feel like she's the same way. Like she's just gonna run through the roster because she's gonna beat Alexa Bliss eventually, and then and then it's gonna be. So I don't know if obviously she is a face, but
right.
I feel like she's not gonna have like full face tendencies, if that makes sense.
I got you. She's not gonna be out there like, I'll save you, Bayley. Like she ain't gonna be doing all that. Right. She's not going to be, taking pictures with the little kids at ringside and whatnot. At least I know. I hope not. But
yeah, I don't think she will.
Yeah, the only thing the only like I guess like you say beef I had with it about her being presented as a face was that I liked it's a subtle differences that you kind of notice. Whereas in NXT when she was a champion, she was and I was seeing her as a heel. Her entrance was a lot longer because to me she was really like milking every second and really pontificating on the fact that this is my moment. You're here to see me. I'm bigger than who's in the ring. This is like my time. It really was arrogant. It was very low key arrogant how long her entrance would be and how she would like milk every second, every step she took. Because remember, she would like boom. Like that'll be how she would step towards the ring, and her entrance would feel very long. Whereas this entrance felt very quick, and it felt like very like, and I don't know, maybe because they were on like a time constraint, but it felt very like, yeah, I'm happy to be here, and so that to me was kind of like, I hope that like what you said right now, keep her a tweener. Not necessarily a face, not necessarily a heel, but I like the low key arrogance that she used to exhibit in NXT, and I really hope they don't take away from that too much.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, so I don't know. I get that match like a B-. I thought I thought it was a good match, and it was enjoyable and such. After that, we had a couple of segments. They were split up. Of Elias playing for the crowd. What's your take on Elias?
The only thing that has improved since he came up to the main roster is his guitar skill.
Mm-hmm. Very true. Yeah.
His wrestling is still pretty terrible. He's pulling a lot of heel heat, which is great. That's what they're looking for.
Mm-hmm.
So like I'm fine with that. It's just it's the same thing over and over again, right? He comes out, he sings a song, he makes fun of the crowd, they don't like him, and then he gets beat up. Like,
right.
I feel like it's going to get old really fast.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Jason Jordan isn't helping the situation either.
Bro. But we're going to talk about that because at first, the first time Elias came out, he was playing for the crowd, and then somebody was throwing vegetables at it. Now, at first, the very first vegetable I saw that hit him, I thought it was a shoe. Like, I thought someone threw it for real. Did you?
No, I wasn't really paying attention.
Oh. You're on your phone.
Yeah.
Right. No, someone threw the lettuce at him, and I thought that was like. At first, I didn't know if it was lettuce. I thought it was just like garbage. I'm like, oh, somebody about to get kicked out. But then I saw like carrots and sweet potatoes and collard greens, and I was like, oh, okay, I see what they're doing. So then you saw Jason Jordan throwing the food at him, and then Elias came back out a second time later on, and like the same thing happened, right? Like he was like throwing stuff at him again. Yeah, and then we got the match, but we'll get to the match in a minute. The next match we had was a cruiserweight tag team match, and that was with Cedric Alexander and Rich Swann taking on Jack Gallagher and the Brian Kendrick. This was actually a good match. This was actually cool. This wasn't really a typical Raw cruiserweight match. This actually really had some substance to it. I didn't care for the rest holds because there were a couple of rest holds in it, but still there were some big high spots. Like Alexander, he hit some really big high spot. Hitting both heels outside of the ring. I thought it was really good. Rich Swann did the Phoenix Splash as well too on Kendrick. So there was some really good, some good looking moves that were done in this match and everything. And we had Cedric Alexander and Rich Homie Swann defeat Jack Gallagher and the Brian Kendrick through pinfall on this match. So clean finisher, not bad. It was pretty good. I thought it was a decent cruiserweight match for the beginning of the pay-per-view.
I enjoyed it. Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah,
I like Cedric Alexander. I like him a lot.
Mm-hmm.
The other three I could care less about. I don't care about Jack Gallagher. I don't really care about Brian Kendrick, and I'm not the biggest Rich Swann fan.
Yeah. I think Cedric has a lot to offer, man. Like I think that he can actually do well, not being in 205 Live anymore, and actually being kind of like a mid carder on Raw or even SmackDown and going after like the US title or the IC title. I think he can fare well in that group.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, so I mean, it's possible because he has been, he got the win. So, there could be something in the future with him. So, we'll keep an eye on him and see what happens. The next match was the women's championship. Yo girl, Alexa Bliss, the champion, the women's Raw, the Raw Women's Champion, defending her title against the challenger, the number one contender, Mickie James. And dude, like, what is it about Mickie James and like WWE that has to like milk the whole let's find a disadvantage of yours and really exploit it? Because the whole thing about her being old, her being a grandma. Well, I mean, not literally, but like what according to Alexa, but her being old, that whole thing was like so played deep that it reminded me of the days when she was feuding with Michelle McCool, and Michelle McCool was calling her fat all the time.
Right. And
like, I get you do this for heat. I understand that, but to me, it just felt kind of weak. It was like, this is all you got? Come on, man.
Yeah, but what else are they gonna do, right? It's like you got young Alexa Bliss and then older Mickie James. It's just that. I mean, it writes itself, but it is kind of stupid and dumb because it's like, oh, we're gonna fight each other because I called you old, and
See, but that's what I'm saying. It's like in real life, it's like, okay, because here's the thing. I like to see storylines that have a degree of realism to them. I understand it's entertainment. I get that. But I like that for it to be a degree of realism where if like that were to happen in real life, I can see why the two would go at it then. You know, it makes sense. You know, like when
Right.
we see people get jumped in the back, when we see somebody, you know, like turn on somebody else, when we see jealousy, we can see that in real life escalate to, you know, to physicality, to actual hands getting thrown. But if you're saying, "Oh, you're old," ha ha ha, that's not gonna go to anything physical. That's gonna go into like that's gonna have some words back and forth, but that'll be the end of it though. So that's what I'm saying. Like, you know, when it came to what this storyline was bringing us, I wasn't buying the substance of it because it really wasn't to me. It wasn't anything that I can really buy into because I didn't feel it was realistic. If that makes any sense,
Right.
you know what I'm saying?
I
So
got you.
yes, so I mean, if that was a footnote in the storyline, then I totally would have gotten it. But it wasn't though. It was the entire storyline of her calling Mickie James old, and it's like if that's all you got, then the writers are being very lazy. So once again, I felt that, you know, because Alexa was in a match with Mickie James, it made Alexa kind of elevate her skill set. Now, you know, I've been very vocal about it in the past before, bro. I'm not the biggest fan of Alexa's ring work. I like her mic work. I think she can work the mic amazing. But when the bell rings, though, I think she's kind of mediocre. But Sunday, though, she showed a lot, though, in terms of, you know, like in terms of her own arsenal. And with her being a heel, obviously she should have had more offense. So this way she could punish Mickie James. But Mickie really did make her really like kind of work for that win. Alexa did defeat Mickie through pinfall to retain the title. What were your thoughts? This is your wifey we talking about right here, bro. So tell me what you think.
I know. I'm glad she won. I know she's going to lose to Asuka eventually, which I'm fine with. The Alexa Bliss Mickie James match was just kind of whatever to me.
Mm-hmm.
Her Alexa Bliss, she's kind of terrible in the ring. She's not. Her moveset's kind of weak. She does the same thing over and over again.
Right.
I mean, she's athletic. But she's not. I mean, she doesn't do anything like super impressive.
Yeah. Yeah, the what she does do well is the whole like the heelish little tactics, kind of like in this match when she was playing possum, act like she had the injury, and then she sucker punched Mickie, and then she put her in that snap DDT. That was cool because, you know, that was like, you know, some classic heel stuff right there. So whenever she has to do things like that, resort to those types of antics, then, you know, she really does know how to do it right. But outside of that, lean upset though, I think she needs to be a little more polished. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah. Now the next was the Shield presenting Kurt Angle with the I'm sorry, not Shield, with it was Rollins and Ambrose presenting Kurt with the vest. So here's my question: Did Kurt not come to the arena with any ring gear? Was he on some kayfabe stuff, bro? Was he like, oh man, hey, looking out in that vest, man? Because I sure showed up here with nothing to wear in the ring. I was gonna go out there in my drawers, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, and we'll get to that in a second. So they made Kurt Angle. I don't remember the Shield, and that was interesting in itself. The next match was another cruiserweight match, but this time it was for the cruiserweight championship. It was Enzo Amore taking on Kalisto, the cruiserweight champion. Bro, they really. First of all, let me go back a little bit. The TLC pay-per-view. Traditionally, the TLC pay-per-views would have not only a TLC match, but also have a tables match, a ladder match, a chairs match.
Mm-hmm.
Those last three options were not even a play into this pay-per-view. This pay-per-view only had a TLC match. This cruiserweight match, would have been perfect if it was a ladder match. It would be a lot better had it been, even if it was a tables match, some type of stipulation. But why was this a regular one-on-one match?
I don't know.
But you know what I'm saying, though? Especially considering the fact they just had a lumberjack match a couple weeks ago. So why wasn't this any stipulation?
Yeah, I don't see. I feel like WWE now, they just have pay-per-views for the sake of having pay-per-views.
Right.
And like it's so like it's like a norm now, right? Like, oh, we have TLC pay-per-view, so we're just gonna do it. Like and it's just for like a namesake, I feel like, and it
right.
just doesn't work the same anymore. So I don't like that, and like I wish, yes, you could have all that stuff, but it just I wish I could justify it, but I can't.
No, you're absolutely right. And I was even thrown off like when they originally announced the Shield was going to go against Miz and in the bar. Because at first when they announced it, I thought it was for Survivor Series because they announced that 2 weeks ago. I'm like, oh, it's for Survivor Series, but then it was like, no, it's for TLC. I'm like, wait, there's another pay-per-view coming up? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, another one in between right now and Survivor Series. And that's why I was saying, I was like, there's not a reason for this pay-per-view like this. And this is why I said to you on Sunday, that match and the main event and the pay-per-view overall felt like tribute to the troops.
Yep.
If it felt out of place, there was really no need for it. I would have, you know what? I would have rather for them have done like, if they really need to have this, like if this was needed, I would have rather for them to do like a Saturday night's main event. You know what I'm saying?
Or like a network exclusive show or something.
Right. That's right. Exactly. Like a Saturday night's main event as a network exclusive. It could have been on Saturday, and they could have did it like that. You know, like instead of using, because for some reason to me I feel like Sunday pay-per-views are really like that's for the start, either the start of a feud or the end of a feud. You know, like it really is like the bookends to a storyline. And with them making this event on a Sunday pay-per-view, I expected a lot more because as fans we invest ourselves emotionally into this. But there was no logic. There was no logic whatsoever behind the show. So I'm thinking that's why I was like, this felt like tribute to the troops, bro. Like there was really no reason for this entire show at all, and nothing really moved the needle. And obviously when we talk about Raw in a few minutes, we'll see we'll see why, because even the night after, it felt like as if TLC never even happened. Like there was nothing from it. Like we didn't get anything from it. You know what I mean?
I didn't watch Raw.
Oh, you didn't? Oh, okay. No. Oh no. I mean,
I was watching Monday Night Football.
Oh yeah, watch your boys get smacked. I got you. Priorities.
Oh, all right. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Hey, clown the Bears if you want, because I'm not even watching them. So go ahead with that. But so you can let them jokes fly this year. I'll let you live. But going back to the cruiserweight match, yeah, like I said, that match should have been a ladder match or at least a tables match, some type of stipulation. But no, it was a regular one-on-one match, and Enzo defeated Kalisto to win back the championship. One of those, why did he even lose it in the first place kind of situations. Did he just want to make him to a two-time champion? I don't know. The match, like I said, if it needed a stipulation, man, because this was just not doing it for real. This was not doing it, and I'm not with Enzo being. It's so many things, because with Enzo being the champion on 205, it doesn't draw me onto that show. And low key, I kind of feel that like maybe some of the other guys in the roster feel the same way. I think isn't that the whole reason why even Neville walked out too, because of the direction that they were going in with 205, or the lack of the direction they were going with him. Because
supposedly,
yeah, it's too much of a cluster, and I felt that was just really was an example of how messy things are over there. So that's what happened with Enzo and Kalisto. Kalisto dropped the title to Enzo. He walked out as two-time champion. So, hey, what can I say?
I just hate all of the flip-flopping of champions.
Right.
It happens way too much now.
Yeah, it does. And it doesn't give you a chance to really like appreciate a title reign. That's the only thing that's the one thing that's really satisfying about Jinder Mahal's reign right now, because he really is. He's been champion since what, May? May, right?
Has it been that long?
I think so. It's either whenever Backlash was, it was either May or April that he's been a champion since. And so and he's the only champion in the company that has had a title for that long. So he's the only thing that's refreshing. But you're right, though. Everyone else, though, it's been hot potato, hot potato, hot potato. And, we can't really be able to invest into a champion or really even believe someone being championship worthy when I just saw them win the title last week. And now next Thursday, they're going to drop it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, no, I'm with you on that. I get that a C-, damn near a D. The next match was was in Finn Balor facing AJ Styles. And this was another situation where Finn Balor was supposed to wrestle Bray Wyatt, but Bray Wyatt got sick. And so
Sister Abigail.
Yes. Oh, yes. Hey, that was a blessing that we missed out on that, because I was ready for some Mrs. Doubtfire kind of stuff to take place. So I was I wasn't trying to see that happen. I wasn't trying to see him come out looking like Tyler Perry in the Medea movies. So I'm good on that. So
yeah, I can't believe they did it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. That was so corny, bro.
It's so corny. Like they talked about it. I was like, "There's no way they're gonna do it," and then they did it, and I was like, "Oh my goodness, please don't make it happen." So I hope it doesn't happen when Bray Wyatt gets better.
Oh yeah, I hope the 86 just completely table it, completely scrap it. It's not even happening. It's never been a thought. Let's move on. For real, because we don't need that in our lives. We're good. But man, this match was the one savior of the pay-per-view. This was a fantastic match with Balor and AJ, and this was the first time wrestling against each other, right?
In WWE.
Okay, so they had wrestled before in New Japan.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. But in WWE especially. But this was a treat seeing this. And going into the match, I'm like, this is gonna be phenomenal. No pun intended. But we saw a really, really great contest with these two. I mean, I can't really say any more about it. This was something that you actually definitely want to go back to watching. And give a repeat watch to it. And what was great about it too, Finn Balor defeated AJ Styles, with the coup de grace, and we knew that was going to happen. And that's fine too. But what was great though, man, was that at the very end they did the too sweet.
Yep.
They did the too sweet, man. So that was cool seeing that, dude. That was real cool seeing that. Next match was Jason Jordan against Elias. No, this was your proverbial I gotta go to the bathroom real quick match. Nothing really came from this. I don't know, bro. Are they done with the whole Jason Jordan push? Well,
I don't know.
Well, he won.
I don't know what they're doing.
Yeah, he won, but I'm just wondering, are they doing anything significant with him?
I highly doubt it.
And that's sad because the man can work, but we're not really. I don't know. It seems like he's kind of at a standstill right now, and it's kind of we're just gonna throw him. We'll throw him with a black tag team partner, or we'll throw him with some other throwaway mid-carder just to have a match for 6 minutes.
Yeah, taking him away from American Alpha was the worst thing ever.
Yeah, and what's his name? His partner, Chad Gable. I mean, he'll get a match here and there with Shelton Benjamin, but there's that, and even though they're good individually, together their chemistry is not really it's not really believable.
No, not at all.
No. Now we're at the main event. Oh, good Lord. So the TLC match, Dean Ambrose, Seth Rollins, along with Kurt Angle, going up against The Miz, Sheamus, Cesaro, Braun Strowman, and Kane. Yes, it is 5-on-3. And going into the match, bro, I'm like, it's crazy how if you take away Roman Reigns and you add Kurt Angle, who's a legend and former Olympic champion, it's like that team downgraded. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then when they came out, oh my God. When them three came out through the crowd doing the Shield entrance, you see Rollins and Ambrose standing in front, looking hard, looking mean, looking tough. And then you got Kurt Angle standing behind them, all smiles, all giggly, all looking all happy. Man, somebody said he looked like a Make-A-Wish Foundation kid who got his his wish granted to walk around with a shield. I'm like, hecky nah. I'm like, hecky nah, nah. They wrong for that. But he looked so out of place, bro. And came out, man, and it was tough, dude, because I'm a Kurt Angle fan. I know you're a Kurt Angle fan, but bro, tell me it was not tough watching him work in the ring and blowing up in the first like 3 minutes of the match.
I was afraid he was gonna break his neck.
Dude, right? I really thought he was gonna get hurt too. I'm like, dude, you're gonna get hurt, bro. And it's too. And I think it's too much body on the other side of that ring. You got Sheamus, swole as ever. Braun Strowman, he's built like a mountain. Kane's a veteran who knows how to use his size. You got a lot of body on the other side of that ring, bro. And this is your first match back in WWE in 11 years, fam. You need to be here. I kind of wanted to take him out a lot earlier, a lot sooner, and just call the match. But they went on with it, and Kurt Angle, he was able to hit the German suplexes, which was cool. It was real cool seeing that. He got the Angle slam on somebody too, right?
Yes, he did it to Cesaro outside onto the table.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah. You're right. Yeah. So we saw the German suplex. We saw the Angle slam, and I know we saw the Angle lock. I think he put on the Miz. So he did get his moves in, but there was a point in time where Kurt Angle had to be taken out the match, and he was rushed back to the back because with the medical facility. And so at that point, this is when things got really weird. This is when it really felt like I was watching WCW 2000, because at that point, the match was 5-on-2. So if it's 5-on-2, it's no brainer who's about to win. I'm like, they should just call this wrap this up and go home. But then out of nowhere, Kane started beating up on Braun Strowman?
Yeah.
Dog, I had to rewind it and be like, wait, what did I miss? Because I thought, did Braun, accidentally hit him? No, it literally happened out of nowhere. He starts throwing them hands. And I'm just like, why? So
yeah, I knew it was going to be something like that would go down. Because it always happens, right? There's always dissension between the heels. I don't know. Like I said earlier, that whole match was just it was not believable. It was all over the place, poorly booked, too much going on. It was bad. It was a terrible main event.
Yeah, it really was. It was ridiculous, and nothing really came from it either. I still don't even understand, why it went in that direction. I don't understand how when you are in a 5-on-2 situation, how the team of 5 had the disadvantage, and how the team of 5 have the dissension. I don't get that. And then, so I'm thinking, all right, you know what I was thinking when it was 5-on-2? I'm like, what should happen? The club should come out. It should be either AJ and Gallows and Anderson, or it should be Finn and Gallows and Anderson coming out. So this way they even up the odds. This way it's 5-on-5, but didn't happen. I guess because that would have made too much sense. I guess you know what I'm saying?
Of course.
Right, because I would like to see the Shield and the club go against them 5, but no. Instead, we got Kurt Angle's music play, and then Kurt Angle comes back out, so he's back into the match, and so he comes back out. Angle, Miz almost got the victory with him. Angle with the Skull Crusher finale, but they kept going, and they turned things around, and Angle was able to get the pinfall. So, and I think he got on the Miz. That match was way too long, way too, just way too over the top. Like I said, it felt like WCW back in 2000. Not a fan of it. I gave that a D. I did not like that match.
Yep. I wholeheartedly agree with everything you just said.
Yeah, there was nothing good about that. And so, like I said, that was basically a tribute to the troops. And then the next night on Raw, Raw starts off with basically just acting like TLC never even happened, and they're like on their whole objective is we are moving forward, ladies and gentlemen. So now it looks like that Survivor Series. Now Survivor Series looks very interesting, and I'm looking forward to this. Where it's going to be Team Raw versus Team SmackDown, and the championship matches are all Raw versus SmackDown. So in this case, it's like, as of right now, it's Alexa Bliss taking on Natty Neidhart. It is The Miz taking on AJ Styles, right?
Baron Corbin.
You're right. Miz taking on Baron Corbin. The match I'm looking forward to a lot. The Usos taking on Rollins and Ambrose. And then, of course, you have the championship match, which is going to be Jinder Mahal taking on Brock Lesnar. Now, what do you think is going to happen in that match? Do you think Jinder is going to beat him?
No.
No?
I don't think so. You know why? Because if Braun Strowman can't beat him, Jinder Mahal better not be able to beat him. Right.
Now, here's the only reason why I'm not ready to let that go, that possibility, because next month is Survivor Series, and in December, they had the tour in India. How insane would it be for Jinder Mahal to go to India with both the Universal Championship and the WWE Championship?
Yeah, it'd be crazy, but
because are these before I get on that, are these matches title for title?
I don't know, to be honest.
If they are, I'm not going to rule that out, only because that would be kind of mind-blowing. And depending on how tickets, I'm pretty sure they're selling tickets like hotcakes over there. But depending on how ticket sales are looking as well too, if they were to have, here is a chance in India for you to see Jinder Mahal, both Universal and WWE champion, then I think they'll sell out, instantly. But that's why if it is title for title, I would not completely rule it out. If it's non-title and no titles are on the line, then Brock will get the victory. I don't know, because even with that promo Heyman cut, they sound a little cocky. So I don't know. It can go either way, obviously.
I feel like if it was title for title, then there would be no reason for a brand split.
No reason for Jinder to win?
No, there'd be no reason for a brand split.
Oh, yeah, true. Yeah. But man, but how cool would that be how cool would that be for see someone become a double champion though,
That would be cool, and you float around, but who actually wants to do that?
Yeah. No, I'm with you on that. Man, it's almost time. It's almost time. Okay, cool. Look, we're gonna wrap in a few minutes though, but before we get out of here, we were going to talk about, because I got a really interesting piece of information earlier today from Haven Rain. Shout out to Haven Rain. In regards to a breakdown of the women's roster and their salaries, and I really wanted to talk about this because I really felt that, and I sent you a copy earlier, Danny. I really felt that there was some issues I took with what they're getting paid, or what I should say, what they're not getting paid. In comparison to not only each other, but in comparison to what the male wrestlers get paid, and it really does kind of show that unfair gap that there is in between, the women's roster and the men's roster, and to also take into consideration how popular the women's division has gotten as well too. These numbers look like numbers I saw back in 1996. And here we are in 2017, and they still look almost identical. So we're not going to get a chance to go into depth about that tonight. We will talk about that next week on MDX Uncut. So tune in next week when we do the podcast. We're recording either next Wednesday or Thursday night, and we'll put it out at the end of next week. So we'll go over that. Also, in addition,
it won't be Thursday. I'll tell you that right now.
It won't be Thursday?
No.
All right, cool. So next Wednesday. All right, so next Wednesday we'll be recording the podcast, and then we'll put it out for y'all on Thursday while Danny doing whatever Danny does on Thursdays. And
it's the Sounders playoffs.
Oh, word. Okay. All right. Cool. Okay. Well, good luck with that. And real quick before we get out here, I just want to give a shout out to our day ones. Like Carl Torres, Johnny Mick, Jan Batista, Melissa Ramirez, Matt Floyd, Alex Fan. Who else am I missing, bro?
Chris Fan, Casey Fan, Anthony Dang.
Yes.
My Uncle Vince.
Oh yeah, definitely Uncle Vince. Shout out to Uncle Vince out there watching. We appreciate you, brother. And everyone else who's been watching us and supporting us and everything, you know, with the show and with this new endeavor. We really appreciate you guys. Shout out also to our producers and our studio engineer, Earl and Wanda at intellectualradio.com. We greatly appreciate you guys. And if you guys have any questions about anything, you guys want to talk about anything, you want us to talk about something, hit us up, mdxpodcast1@gmail.com, and we'll read your email. We'll give you a shout out. We'll show you all some love. But until next time, we're gonna wrap it up. I'm Maurice.
I'm Danny.
And we'll see y'all next time. Peace. I'll hit you up 5 minutes, all right, bro?